back. On top of that, you got the drama going on in Philly. This is going to make for a great football season. And without further ado, the Wednesdays, we got Mark in Oxnard. He joins us now, and we have the legendary Philly.500.
Oh, Lord.
Who is here with us now, and we have the threesome that we so covet. Good afternoon to you, fellas.
What's happening, Jules?
All good, man. I mean, let's start it out with you first, Philly. First off, Mark, how is camp going in Oxnard for the Cowboys?
Camp is different than what it's been in past years. You've talked about the numbers, everybody's been going crazy. But before we go any further here, I want you to understand, I'm actually in LA today taking care of some business. Gotcha. Unlike other people that have to do things with their daughter, I show up anytime, anywhere to do my duty. See, I'm helping my baby.
Is he talking to you, Sills? Because I know he ain't talking to me because I'm not under contract. I'm not under contract. Yes,
I'm not under contract either, bro.
You sign your name on a dotted line. You send me. No. Guess what? Every Wednesday,
to sign my name on the dotted line would be that I was getting something out of it.
Get the hell out of here! I am not under contract. I'm a free agent.
I'm not under contract either.
You are. You're under contract.
I'm not.
You signed on the dotted line. Don't lie.
Love you two guys.
Don't lie.
And all right, Philly. Let me start with you. What'd you make of the Tim McManus? And again, you and me have been saying this shit for a year. It's like the Philly media is a day late and a dollar short. We all knew this, but to me, I took away from that article about Nick Sirianni and the fractured relationship between the head coach. I took that as this is an explanation why Nick is in the position he is right now, more so than an indictment on Jalen Hurts. Do you believe Hurts went to management and had Nick Sirianni put in that sandbox?
I don't know if he went to management. I mean, I actually thought it was a good article. It's just 4 months too late. Like, we've been dealing with this for how long? It's like kind of over with. I'm done with it. No big deal. I watched those two guys smiling and having a good time, driving around in the golf cart the other day. Whatever happened, it's over with. They've moved forward. I don't know why we have to keep talking about it. To me, the most interesting part of the article is what happened about him calling Wink Martindale. That, to me, was, I thought, the most fascinating thing. I'm just wondering why, if he's calling Wink Martindale, why don't we give him a defensive coordinator job?
Hey, that's absolutely a great take. And hey, Mark, we have a special message for you here, just so you know that's how well you're loved when you come on here on Wednesday. That's a great call, but
when you
let me
come
just show
under
you
contract.
something here, though, Philly. I'm gonna say this to you.
Can you do me a favor? Hold on. Can you do me a favor? Can you put in there a poll? If Mark Holmes should be on here weekly, should he stay or should he go? Okay, just let me know. Just let me know one way or another.
Well, you're under contract.
I'm not sure.
Crying like the Cowboy fan? Are you crying now? Is that what you're?
I'm not crying. I'm just like I ain't got it.
They can sue you.
You know, I got better things I could be doing, like playing in the highway. I mean, if I'm gonna take that kind of abuse.
Okay, well, I'm gonna
you're under contract.
You here now. You know what, Mark? I watch your training camp, and I've been talking to folks up there. That thing looks like a shit show going on. You're winning 5 ball games.
Well, who did they sign today?
Oh, buddy, you know what? Keep believing that if you want to.
5 games.
I'm going to tell you, I've seen some things that make me feel better about my team. Believe it or not.
Though? Mark, who did they sign?
They signed linebacker from
oh wow,
Albert Higgins.
That was the big signing. Who the hell's Albert Higgins?
Again, you know what? When you got some studs already in camp, when you can draft well, it's not about having to, go out and get a whole lot of players.
Draft well? You mean like fucking Lazy Smith?
Lazy Smith? Oh man.
Yeah, okay. Like Lazy Smith.
I hear you. I hear you.
He went all the way up to Oxnard, and nobody's there. And he's paid him high taxes.
I heard that.
High gas prices.
Well, actually, let me clarify that.
The Bob Higgins guy they just signed, the linebacker Bob Higgins, whatever.
He's T. Higgins.
Albert Higgins.
step cousin.
Albert Higgins. Whoa, Albert Higgins.
He's T. Higgins' step cousin.
Dude, I heard he's smaller than Nakobe Dean.
Yeah, but I bet you he's got more tackles this season than Nakobe Dean
yeah,
does.
that's why he was a free agent until today. Yeah.
Well, you know, it won't be long before he's going to be a free agent there too, buddy. Nakobe.
Mark, help me out. Help make me feel the Cowboys are going to be a contender in the NFC East.
Well, I tell you one thing, because see, you guys all talk about my number 1 draft pick from last year. I can't guarantee that he's going to be a great player. But here's the thing I'm going to tell you. No, you can laugh all you want to. No. I tell you what. He has actually impressed me by the fact that I was actually there at training camp at practice at 10 o'clock yesterday. At 10:15, when the punter was out there, he was on that field working with the defensive line coach.
Congratulations
that guy was
on not robbing a bank.
No, I'm telling you, this guy right now, when you look at how his body has developed, you look at his attitude on the field. I got a chance to talk to him yesterday. He is like a sponge. You can go ahead all you want and just say, oh, yeah, Mozzie pad, Mozzie this. He's the bust. I'm going to tell you, he's turning that narrative around. He has got the right attitude, and he is putting in the work right now to become a legitimate.
They have a guy on the Eagles named Ojimo who's better than that guy.
Okay, you want to put money on that one? Let's see if Bet USA will go ahead and take odds on who's better on that one.
Wait, I'll tell you a little bit about Philly.500. Here's Lazy Smith, and here's what Mike Zimmer said about him the other day. He's doing the right things. He's in position. He's not going to make any flash plays, but he's there.
Don't need him to.
And you're not going to notice some of the things he does, but he's there for you. And I was like this guy's describing a 5th rounder.
Right? No.
Some guy who's a 5th rounder. You're not describing Jalen Carter or Jordan Davis.
You know,
Jordan Davis is fat ass every day. Your guy, bro, he's
Dan,
got
I thought you
plays.
Wait a minute. Wait. Hold on, Dan. I thought you literally was one of the big guys in the middle that understand the job. Because see, you sound like one of those fantasy football guys out there that are looking for him to make 100 tackles and 15 sacks.
I want him to make 8
all I need him to do is exactly what I was seeing him doing in camp. Taking on double teams and not giving up ground. Learning how to do the quick swim and the club of the shoulder to be able to occupy space. If he can occupy space, especially with what they're doing right now with Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons won't be just an edge rusher.
You should hear this guy complain about Jordan Davis. Jordan Davis didn't get 10 sacks. And Jordan Davis did only this. Jordan Davis is good stopping the
Jordan Davis is on the sideline sucking air. That's what Jordan Davis is doing a lot of.
Mozzie Smith, and you're giving him every excuse. Well, my guy was out there 10 minutes early. You should see his body. I was getting all turned on by his chest hair. I mean, what the hell is that,
And in the 3 years, will we see an improvement of your guy? My guy's got nowhere to go but up.
Yeah, my guy just needs to be better conditioned. But when
he's actually having a good camp.
Oh, better condition. So my guy is out there actually working. My guy's out there working on his condition, getting in shape and stuff. And you say your guy just needs to. Well, guess what? My guy is actually doing that.
We should give Dan Cilio. We should give him the background story on Jordan Davis, so you understand the truth. Mark, for months. Every video was Dak Prescott, and we're going to draft Jordan Davis. We want Jordan Davis.
No, I didn't say we were going to. I said I would like to get him.
All he talked about Jordan Davis. When the Eagles drafted him, he stinks. He ain't nobody. He ain't nothing. Yeah. Come on.
You're the same guy that says that your secondary is going to be better than the Cowboys.
It is going to be better. It is. That's not a surprise. What do you got? Diggs out there on one leg? Of course we're going to be better.
Not just Diggs there, buddy.
Bland's overrated.
I will take our backups over your starters on the secondary there, buddy.
And that's why you're going to lose again.
Are you concerned that here's the comments that Vic Fangio's making of Bryce Huff? And Bryce Huff, even today or yesterday it was when he was talking, yeah, it's a work in progress, me playing the run. I haven't been really asked to drop back in coverage. This is something new. I mean, you spent $50 million on him, and I haven't seen him at all. And he hasn't really been said at all. Are you concerned that here's the guy that's supposed to replace 29 sacks in the last 2 years in Hassan Reddick, and he's not even showing up in camp, dude? I mean, it's a big deal here.
Oh,
I would have kept Reddick. I mean, we've talked about that, but I will see. I don't know what to expect from him. I'm more in the wait and see mode. With Huff, I don't think in terms like Fangio. I guess I don't look at him and go, "Well, you brought him into play to go into coverage or even play the run great." Like he's coming to get the quarterback. So is he going to go out there and is he going to get to the quarterback? That's the question. We'll have to see. But he's not. He's by all means he's not where he needs to be because Fangio has said such. But I mean, we'll see.
Hey, Mark, has Dak Prescott come to the realization, because I have, that he will not be any longer a Dallas Cowboy at the end of this season? And by the way, have you had your Terry Knights, and have they gone away now where you're now in a position where you know that your love child is no longer going to be on the Cowboys come January? I mean, this is going to make for a tough time to be able to do all those videos on Mrs. Prescott when she's no longer going to be under center in Dallas. Have you come to that conclusion?
You know, it's funny that you say that because if it is, it may be. It could very well be.
It is.
It's not affecting Dak Prescott one bit because I tell you what, if you go through the Cowboys quarterback, Dak Prescott looks like an assassin right now. He is hitting guys, and with CeeDee Lamb not being there, you're beginning to see some of these other guys. Watch Jalen Tolbert. Jalen Tolbert is going to be really good. He will be our second best wide receiver on the roster if CeeDee Lamb is started. In hell, he might have to be our number one. But you have a great group of guys that Dak is actually hitting left and right. You got Cooper Rush, who is a backup, and then you've got Trey Lance, who is very, very, very raw.
He's having a horrible camp, Mark. Tell the truth.
I trust me, and that's so much for him being the linchpin of getting Dak Prescott signed cheap. But Dak is not showing any signs of, I'm not worried about shit. As soon as practice is over, it's actually a beautiful thing to see him with his daughter, Mary Jane, holding on to her. He literally looks like he's just soaking in all of this. So if this is the last ride, he's okay with it because he knows at the end of the day, somebody is going to pay me a boatload of money. And if the Dallas Cowboys end up letting him go, it'll be the biggest mistake that they ever made.
You know why Dak Prescott's cool, calm, and collective, Sills? Because the playoffs haven't started. If it was the playoffs, he'd be a nervous wreck, throwing interceptions, choking. He'll choke when it matters the most. Dak Prescott will choke.
Let me ask you a question here.
Philly, are you saying there won't be a big market for him? There was a big market.
No, there will be
because
he puts up statistics in the regular season. But no matter where Dak Prescott goes, the one thing that he has to prove at this point, more than anything else, is he's got to prove that he can win in the playoffs. I don't care where he goes. He has to show me he can win in the playoffs. He hasn't done that. He has not looked good in the playoffs. So,
you know what? Actually, let me actually flip this around a little bit because, people look at this like Mike McCarthy's, he's on the hot seat and everything else. I'll tell you, Mike McCarthy looks about as calm, cool, and relaxed as could be because I dare say this. This is actually the way I look at it. Maybe I'm wrong. But if you're Mike McCarthy,
$14 million a year, Mark, you're going to be cool, calm, and collected.
Yeah, but thinking that I don't have another contract with the Cowboys. If you're Mike McCarthy after what happened in Green Bay, it's kind of like revisionist history now because now people are looking and saying Aaron Rodgers was a prick. How are you going to win with this guy with Aaron Rodgers with what he's done here? Here it is, Mike McCarthy, who's got a fourth-round drafted quarterback who was runner-up MVP, and he's calling the plays. You may actually see a situation where, fine, don't sign me, that you see Dak Prescott and Mike McCarthy as a package deal for one of these downtrodden teams that would die to have that combination out there. So that's why I look at it and say, for those guys, is it the worst thing if I lose my job in Dallas? I'm going to have people pounding down my door to give me a job. And maybe, just maybe, I'm better off getting away from the Joneses. You look at the totality of the last 30 years, the Cowboys, it's not like they've been winning Super Bowls. This has been the best, regardless of what you think. The Cowboys have been consistently in 30 years.
Mark, I think that I could see this. If Wilson doesn't work out and Justin Fields, I don't care what they're saying about him. Justin Fields is what he is. He's Tyrod Taylor, but faster. You put Dak
Yeah.
in Pittsburgh, and they get Ayuk in there,
Oh
and
my
they
God.
got that guy Pickens on the other side and Najee Harris, and you're working with Mike Tomlin. Hey, let me just say this to you though, Philly. I know you're rolling your eyes on that, but you have Kellen Moore, who was Dak Prescott's offensive coordinator, and if you're so high on Kellen being his coordinator, Kellen was responsible for what Dak is right now, where he's going to get $60 million. I mean, Mike McCarthy was also involved in the development. I mean, you can't go this. Well, it's all Dak. Hang on. You can't go, it's all Dak in Dallas, and then turn around and go, well, why did the Eagles hire Dak Prescott's offensive coordinator?
No. The question with Dak Prescott isn't that he hasn't put up good numbers in the regular season. He has. The question about Dak Prescott, and my argument is regardless whether Kellen Moore's there or not, whether you have the same coach or not, that Dak Prescott has been the consistent guy.
How do you know that's not poor coaching, though?
Well, okay, so you had McCarthy, you had the coach they had before it, you had Kellen Moore, now you have another offensive coordinator. So it's everybody else but Dak Prescott. There's one consistent person that's there always at the quarterback position. It's Dak. You've changed coaches, you changed offensive coordinators, and you still have the same results when the playoffs come. When the big game comes, Dak Prescott loses. He lost as a number 1 seed. He's lost as a number 2 seed. So to me, look, I'm not saying Kellen Moore's the greatest offensive coordinator or perfect. What I'm saying is they have taught Dak and put Dak in positions. Dak has great numbers every year, but when the pressure is on, when it's playoff time, he can't even find CeeDee Lamb. They're fighting in the first quarter because he's so off and discombobulated because I think he's a choker. That's all I'm saying.
Interesting. So let's say hypothetically, your guy who you think is the greatest thing since Joe Montana, what if the offense crashes and burns with Kellen Moore and Dak Prescott ends up having a great season again? Is it Kellen Moore who made it, or is the consistent? Here's the thing that's kind of interesting is he's had Scott Linehan, he's had Kellen Moore, he's had Mike McCarthy. For the most part, the Dallas Cowboys every year have been a top 5 offense.
Yeah, but in the playoffs, they don't win. Mark, every year in the playoffs, they lose.
And guess what, Philly?
You ignore that. You ignore that.
And Philly, you ignore the fact that you look at my team right now and you started out the whole conversation laughing because we signed Albert Higgins. That's the big signing that you guys did.
I was laughing.
It's not apples to oranges.
I was laughing
hold on. Wait. Do you look at this and say that Saquon Barkley is better than Zeke Elliott?
Yeah.
Okay, right?
He is.
Okay. Exactly. And your team decided that's the guy we're going to kind of go out and get, right? When you went out there and got A.J. Brown,
Zeke Elliott,
what did we do? We got rid of CeeDee Lamb. I'm sorry, we got rid of Amari Cooper. So you can't look and say you've got all this talent, Dallas's ass, and that it's the same thing. It's not the same thing.
I don't even understand what you're talking about.
Now, wait a minute.
Lord. You don't, because you got too much shit between the ears.
No, I'm going to show you.
What you're saying is, though, Mark, you're trying to penalize the Eagles for consistently putting good people around.
Not trying to penalize them at all.
What they're doing is they're evaluating Dak and elevating Dak way too much more than what his value is. Here's the problem with Micah, with CeeDee, and with Dak, and here's your biggest problem. They are not Michael Irvin. They are not Troy Aikman. And they are not Emmitt Smith.
You know what? But whoa. Let's go back here for a second, though.
You're not.
And guess what? That offensive line is not the Great Wall of Dallas either.
Okay. So what?
And let me also go. That defense is not the defense that we had out there either, with Charles Haley, with Woodson, with all of those guys.
Paying for people who are not going to deliver for you and not building in the right positions.
Well, I was hoping that we could ask Stephen Jones that tomorrow when I was going to see you and things, because you blame the player. Because here's what happens. This is why I actually think that Dak Prescott will be re-signed. For no other reason is he's taking the bullets for the Joneses. The Joneses literally all off season have done nothing, including signing their best players. When it comes to the playoffs, when we don't have the horses in the fight, like the Eagles go do, like the San Francisco's go do, they're not going to look back and say, Jerry Jones, you screwed the pooch because you did not have a quality running back. You did not have a good enough defensive lineman. You did not have linebackers on the team. What they're going to do is they're going to say, Dak Prescott, you're the reason why. He's a bum. Get rid of him. And
Mark,
that's the reality of why the Joneses, he turns the needle. He's the most talked about player in the NFL. Why would I get rid of the Golden Goose?
Mark, do you think you have a top 5 roster in the NFC right now?
Top 5. It depends on what happens with a lot of guys that are unknowns. And this is where it's always funny because people will go through and say, well, this team was good last year. Everybody's on the Houston bandwagon. Yes, they made some moves, but you may see a second-year slump. People were on last year. The New York Giants, oh my God, Daniel Jones has turned a quarter, and all of a sudden, boom, they fall flat on your head. You have to, see who gets there healthy and see who actually is able to step up. We have players that we have lost. And
the answer.
I'm not avoiding the answer. Do I think
do you think right now they're a top 5 team?
In the NFC?
Yes.
In the NFC, I'd say actually yes. Yes. Because some of our stars are helping to elevate the roster and stuff. Because when you've got a Zach Martin, but the thing is the Cowboys always are top heavy with really good talent, okay? But if you have top heavy and you lose a Tyron Smith and you go to a Chaz Green, you're not the same team. And that's the problem of being top heavy. You need to have about 30 guys that are all really, really good. So if I lose one piece, I'm not going from one of the top players in the NFL to a guy that shouldn't be on an NFL roster.
To you, Philly, I say this and I still say this. Vic Fangio came out the other day and said this. He goes, we need to have good linebacker playing. Right now, we don't. How much of a concern is that for you when you look at that defense? And he's actually pointing that out right now. He doesn't really have, and it's not set in stone. They're still shuffling the deck, and it's a big concern right now. And it looks like they're going to go to a 5-man front. That means 2 inside backers.
Yeah, well, that's what I expected they were going to do. I think that the linebacker is a definite concern. I like Devin White, and I think Devin White's going to have a good year. And I like what I've seen from him so far. But Zach Bond was signed to be like a special teams guy. And the fact that he's coming in and he's pretty much starting right now, I'm very worried about Nakobe Dean. To me, he should be winning this job, and he's not. So I'm worried about that on that front. But at the same time, this is what the Eagles do with the linebackers. So we'll have to see. I'm hoping Trotter Jr. will turn out to be pretty good. I think he's playing decent. He's slowly moving up the depth chart.
He's getting reps.
And I like that. So we'll have to see how that plays out. Now, maybe, look, we haven't played one preseason game. Maybe we go to preseason and Nakobe Dean shows up. But right now, it's the disappointment that he does not have that job. Maybe Bond, maybe he's something Fangio sees in him. We'll see how it plays out. But, I think that it's fair to say that the 2 positions of concern are what those edge rushers are going to do and the linebacker. Those are the 2 areas that I do worry about. Yeah.
All right. Last question for both guys. Mark, what do you want to see in the first exhibition game this year with the Cowboys going into this weekend?
Well, actually, here's what I'm actually going to say, because with the NFL looking to go to 18-game seasons, preseason is it's nothing. You're not going to see any starters or anything like that.
But these are quality rep for your younger guys.
It is quality rep.
I will actually say
what I will actually say will be what I'm actually really want to see is practice tomorrow against the Rams, because that's basically the real work that you're going to see with your number one stuff. So that controlled scrimmage, I want to see actually Jalen Tolbert, if Jalen Tolbert is the guy that I think that he is becoming. Because looking at him from when he was a rookie 2 years ago and seeing him this year, seeing him literally have matured, you could just see it in his face and his body and everything else, and not looking lost on the field. I want to see, and you're going to laugh, Rico Gathers, how he's running, because he's looking really, really quick as far as that go. And of course, I want to see how Tyler Guyton is going to look on the offensive line.
Do they got a wheelchair for Zeke?
You know,
They don't roll out.
there's a misconception on that because, see,
Uh-huh.
when he went through the dummies there and he's carrying the 2 balls, okay, people thought he was so tired that he fell down. He was carrying 2 balls and got hit in the balls, in which case he dropped the 2 balls so he could take care of the other ball.
Dude, they need to put him in an Egyptian museum. He's a relic.
I love it.
What are you talking about? Philly, what do you want to see this exhibition season? I find that game on Friday weird because you're going to play the Ravens in week 12 or 13.
Yeah.
So, I mean, here we're not going to really show anything, but what do you want to see this weekend?
Oh, I mean, where do I begin? I mean, where do I begin? The Eagles preseason is going to be fascinating because it's not even about the starters. It's about all the other battles. You got battles at the wide receiver. What I want to see, who's going to take that number 3 wide receiver? Paris Campbell is sitting there, and he's got a hurt groin. That hurts him. Covey is making a play, and this rookie Johnny Wilson, 6'7", is going out there to get reps. I want to see that. I want to see the linebackers. I want to see how these secondary guys look. We're deep at corner, man. We got some young guys and a lot of talent. I don't know, Sills. I'm going to be watching the 4th quarter really intrigued because I got a team that has talent from top to bottom, unlike Mark, who's going to be looking for Louis Higgins to play some linebacker. You know what I mean?
And Spider Rico to run the ball.
Yeah, I'm streaming the game on Friday. I'll be there. Yeah, Spider Rico, Bobby Higgins. You know,
Spider Rico. Okay.
When Kendrick said they could wheel him out, Zeke's eating some donuts on the sideline.
Hey, Mark, try Roscoe's in L.A. You'll like it. Chicken in
Roscoe's chicken and waffles. Yeah.
You know why I was laughing at the signing? Because I saw Mark before I came on. I saw on his channel it said Cowboys make huge signing. And I'm thinking, oh, what did they get? And
he's 320 pounds. That's huge.
From Higgins guy. I'm like, oh, that's not a signing.
Okay.
That's why I thought you were signing C.J. Mosley, and
that's why
you're signing Gus Higgins.
Laughing because it's like, who? That's a big signing, man.
You guys act like this isn't every season. Good people.
Deprived of moves and things to talk about.
Hey, Mark, are you starting to believe that Eagle fans are a little bit now over delusional themselves?
Oh my God! You know what? The only thing that keeps me sane and coming on the show is waiting to watch the meltdown. I can't wait to come in here after you guys lose a game. I literally can't wait. I'm gonna go ahead, bide my time, lay in wait here, okay, and then I'm gonna go bam. And get you.
You're not going to go bam because you're going to be miserable too. Because the weeks we lose, you're going to be losing too. You're going to lose a lot of games this year.
Okay, I hear you talking. I hear you talking, but I'm going to tell you, we're going to be all right.
Hey, Mark,
we're going to be all right.
Mark, let's get on the phone after the show today. I'll reach out to you and I'll call you and I'll let you know the latest on what's going on. The Cowboys, man. That guy Thoreau, the director of media, man. Brad Sham, I was supposed to have his ass on today, the voice of the Cowboys. They wouldn't even put him on until next week. So I don't know. They got him in. I guess there's a lot of press out there right now this afternoon for their practice. So they're in practice sessions right now. So I'll let you know what's going on. Tell the folks how they can find you, brother.
Oh, definitely. Just JAKIB Sports Reporter, Mark Holmes. You'll find me on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, all of the above. And apparently here on Wednesdays, getting the shit kicked out of me.
DaxLoveChild.com. That's where you can find them.
How about you, big guy? Tell them where.
Just type Philly.500 and I'll come right up. And you'll see me.
Spider Rico. Just remember that. Spider Rico runs the ball for the Cowboys.
Spider Rico.
Guys, I love you, man. I appreciate both you guys taking time out of your day, man. Thank you so much. Thank you again. I appreciate it. Thank you, fellas.
See ya.
You got it. That is Mark, and that is, of course, our friend Philly.500, who brings it each and every single day. I think Philly.500 right now, I think he's got a streak like the Ravens in the preseason, 24 straight. I don't think that guy loses, man. Make sure you check him out. He is our good friend. Where are we on the like list right now? Uncle Rico. I love it. Where are we right now on the like list? Guys, you guys have been killing it, and I appreciate it very much. Hey, by the way, Kyle, that was a great pull by you with Spider Rico. We're at 200. Guys, 2 hours in, 200. Let's see if we can get that bad puppy up over 350. Wouldn't that be great? Appreciate you guys very much. Thank you. Philly.500 undefeated. We're going to reset. Keep it here, National Football Show.
If you missed any of today's show on the JAKIB Media channel, listen to the podcast on your way home. Available on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify.